oil marketers who are eagerly awaiting the price of petrol from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, which has begun production but announced that only the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited will lift the product initially. This news has caused uncertainty amongst independent petroleum marketers who expected more open market competition. As NNPC increased petrol prices at its stations, there are concerns that the price of petrol could soon reach 1,200 naira per litre, contributing to inflation and straining household budgets. The situation has led to panic buying, long queues and fuel scarcity across Nigeria, with some areas seeing prices as high as 1,500 naira per litre. Meanwhile, Dangote Refinery is expected to supply 25 million litres of petrol daily to the Nigerian market, potentially rising to 30 million litres by October 2024. However, concerns persist about the impact of rising fuel prices on the economy and the burden on Nigerians. We cannot actually get tired of talking about this until we have actually seen ourselves walk majestically out of the case of fuel scarcity that we have. Year in, year out, we have issues of fuel scarcity. Year in, year out, we get to see long queues in fuel stations with different excuses or different reasons that are being given. It's either from the NNPC or we complain coming from the independent marketers. But this time, there's more to this story. Ambassador, how do you see us coming out of this case?
Well, for me, I'm not among those who jubilated that Dangote Refinery is going to provide PMS for Nigerians. I'm only going to jubilate when the production of Dangote Refinery has led to the reduction in the price of the product. So when the production of a Dangote refinery has led to the reduction of the products, which is the PMS, the fuel, that's the only time I can rejoice that the Dangote refinery has come to be a blessing to Nigerians. But with what I'm seeing so far, the increment in the prices of PMS is not a reason for jubilation yet. It's not a joyful experience yet. So I like to believe that the price of Dangote refinery, the products from the Dangote refinery, will determine how Nigerians will fare and celebrate this new, dawn in our country.
Is it on Dangote or on the NNPC?
You see, when I talk about, I'm talking about the source. We all clamor that Dangote should be encouraged. We all clamor that
you also clamored for
yes, that
okay.
the crude should be given to him so that he can refine. Now the product is available. We now want to see how that availability of product is going to help Nigerians in terms of the price reduction in PMS. On a very sincere note, in Port Harcourt, Rivers State here, apart from these few days because of the wahala in prices, we have not really experienced a scarcity of fuel. The only challenge is in the amount you buy. At least there is fuel where to buy. So for me,
wait, we said in River State we've not experienced scarcity.
Not much.
We are experiencing scarcity right now.
I say right now.
Yes, right now.
And this one is as a result of the conflict in price. Most of the filling stations, I believe they have product, but they are waiting for what the price like is going to be because they are businessmen. So not as if we do not have product. I'm
even wondering how the black marketers are getting these products if people cannot get it.
That you can answer more to that. So the point here is the emergence of Dangote refinery products. I want to see how it's going to reduce the purchase of it by the common Nigerians. If the price from Dangote refinery do not come to the barest minimum for the common Nigerian to afford, is still like a wasted venture.
And even if it is on the barest minimum for the common Nigerian to afford, and the NNPC price is still not at the barest minimum for Nigerians to afford, I'm trying to show you that there are two parties to play here.
You see, Dangote have said it categorically that NNPC will be the first to lift the product. In other words, they will be the first buyers. You are getting it? It's Dangote that will sell to NNPC. The way NNPC goes to buy abroad and now fix the price. So it has nothing to do. Dangote is not owning a petroleum, what do you call it, fuel station. He doesn't own one. So that's why it's telling you that it is NNPC that will determine the price of fuel. And he's speaking as a businessman, which is the truth.
Okay, so that he finally agreed now that, according to what he has said, that the NNPC would be the ones to determine the price of the fuel.
He's correct in that regard.
Okay. Because
he does not own a filling station. He's only going to sell NNPC the product. How NNPC sells it in the market, his hands are not there. So all what we are saying is that the price, bargain between the Dangote refinery and the NNPC should be optimally minimal, so that the price can reduce for Nigerians to buy. Because the issue of subsidy, the issue of prices in going to, import this PMS has been waived. Because we do not have it before. Now we have it. So what is the grammar you are going to speak again? Dollar price is high. Export duty, import duty, export duty of the product. This and that and that and that, plenty grammar. We want to see the lie or the truth that NNPC will tell us now.
What about the independent marketers? We've not mentioned them.
Well, I want to believe that if NNPC have these products, because the price of NNPC has always been more fair to Nigerians, even though it's still on the high side. But the unfortunate thing with the NNPC gas stations is that they are few. If the NNPC fuel stations are so many for we to have PMS, I don't think the issue of independent marketers would be a reasonable thing to consider.
But now they are not, so.
So that's where it's reasonable now to consider, because they, in turn, will buy from NNPC and then add their little profit. But of course, most of the times, the profit they also add is on a very outrageous point. They sell us this product as if we are their enemies, that we are not also their brothers and sisters. So I like
the businessmen.
You can't, all of us are into business, one business or the other. You can't make all the businesses by suffocating your people.
You actually do not expect them not to want to make profit. What we should be looking at is we or the government regulating the prices of these independent markets. That's what we should be looking at. But if you say the independent marketers should not want to, inflate the prices, then anyone who says that would definitely you said that they fix the prices like we're not their brothers.
I said
we should consider family. This is business.
What I'm trying to say is that the profits they add is outrageous.
Because they're out to make profit.
Okay, since...
What we should do, that's what I'm telling you. We should be talking about the government regulating the price, giving a fixed price for the independent marketers, since they're all getting from the NNPC and the NNPC from Dangote.
Oh, you make a very wonderful point there. And we are also in this country where the regulatory agencies of PMS goes around to check how much each of these petrol stations are selling. And at the end of the day, you see that they shut down most of these petrol stations because of the way they adjusted their
How much of that have we really heard now?
Most times they do.
Because we know that there are lots of fuel stations currently who are going against if there's even any law on ground concerning that. So, but then nothing is being done.
They can't be everywhere. So we are always saying that they should increase the volume of their operations, because there is still this price fixed in most of these products. But when you get to those stations, that's why when they get to the station, they check how much they are selling. If it's not the approved price, sometimes they shut down the filling station. Sometimes their meters are adjusted. So these are not the things must government force you to do. That's why I said they are treating us as if we are not their brothers or their sisters. You don't need government to force you to do what is right. The little profit you need to add according to the regulations, add it. Not when we even buy the fuel at the price that you are selling us, and we cannot even get that particular liter that you are selling us.
If we expect everybody to follow regulations and rules and laws, then there should be no need for implementation. There is a body for implementation because it is known that not everybody would want to follow the rules and the regulations.
No, some are following the rules. That's why when you go to filling stations, you see the variations in prices. Because each of them are exhibiting the level of kind of greed and ungreed in most of them. All of us are here. We are all Nigerians. We see what happens to us. You buy a particular fuel in a particular amount and you don't get what is due you from that price because of adjustment of the meter. Most government is, when we talk about the enforcement, if we want Nigeria to be better, if we want Nigerians not to suffer, you mustn't wait for enforcement of those laws. Enforcement one is by the way you do it rightly. That's the better way of enforcement. The other coerce enforcement is the one because you have refused, right? They now want to coerce you to do it. But the best enforcement is the one you enforce rightly according to the regulations.
Nobody's doubting that. We're also saying everybody should play their role. If you want the independent marketers to play their role, then the agencies who are involved in regulating the price should also play their role.
The rules are there. Now, what we're out there trying to advise, I encourage is that these agencies put up their regulations and give to independent marketers. But most of the independent marketers, they do flat these regulations.
Of course, that's why they're there to
and there are some who do not. Those who obey that regulation have implemented it. Those who did not obey it have refused to implement. Also, it is only when government agency will now come to check to force you implement it. And we are saying it is wrong. If there is a policy and there is a regulation, let us follow it. Let us implement it the way others are implementing. Don't wait for agencies of government to come before you implement.
Exactly, and nobody's doubting
Good.
that.
So we are not.
Are you saying that they do not have a role? That's talking about the government agencies who are involved in. Are you completely taking them out of this picture? Talking about the role that they have to play and how Nigerians are complaining about how this is affecting them. Talking about these independent marketers adjusting meters and doing this or that, them paying for what they are not getting, or paying more than what they actually get. So you cannot completely take the enforcement out of the picture.
No, I'm not taking it out of place.
All right. Let's look at the Nigerian Bar Association now, the NBA.